Slowly but surely, enterprises around the world are checking out and even deploying private wireless networks to help with multiple aspects of their operations and to develop new capabilities. But what's the return on investment case for private networks? Well, talking to me today about this topic is Danielle Royston, founder and CEO at TelecomTV and acting CEO at Totogi. Danielle, great to chat with you again. Now, Mobile World Congress might seem like a lifetime ago already, but it really only was a matter of weeks ago that the industry gathered in Barcelona. And as we know, what happens at MWC has an impact on so much that happens during the rest of the year. So how was MWC 23 for you?
Ray, MWC was amazing. Totogi had tons of foot traffic into our booth, and we had a great show. We were there obviously talking about charging as a service and our awesome plan design product, but we also found a surprise hit, monetizing private networks. We partnered with Tech Mahindra, ENEA, and Casa Networks to create a proof of concept of this idea, all running on AWS, and everyone loved it. AWS actually wore out a path, bringing telcos over to our booth to show them how easy it could be to set up a private network and allow an enterprise customer to monetize it.
Okay, so I mean, why would an enterprise want to monetize its private network?
Yeah, that's a great question. It literally is everyone's first question to us. And so this actually is not a new idea. Enterprises have wanted to monetize their private networks for a while. They want to do it either for additional revenue or to help defray the cost of building a private network in the first place. And so I'll give you a couple examples. So a music festival or say a sporting event. Any location where the network on a non-event day is good enough, but on an event day, it's congested. Think of music concerts or sporting events. An event promoter could stand up a temporary private network, then offer attendees a one-day plan for additional price. For example, I think Verizon does this with the NFL. They could actually start to charge people in the stadiums for an enhanced fan experience. Another great example that I learned about when I was at MWC this year was free ports, right? So free ports cover a wide geographical area over water, and setting up a private network and then being able to charge the different traders and partners for the network usage based on usage, network quality, or speed is another great reason to monetize a private network. And so we talked to a bunch of telcos about this idea, and everyone was really excited about what they heard.
Okay, but this isn't something that we've heard a great deal about in the past. So historically, has monetizing a private network been a tricky thing for an enterprise to do?
Yeah, it is. Because most, if not all of the traditional telco software vendors out there, they deploy on-premise as a single instance. And so we've been limited to two terrible approaches. So one approach is allowing the enterprise to use the telco's proprietary tech stack. So their mobile core, their BSS, their charger. And so they're sharing that capacity and they're sharing those tools with them. And telcos in general have really shied away from this approach. And then the other one is just making the enterprises themselves set it up and manage their own tech stacks. Both of these approaches are doable, but they're sucky. It's expensive, complex, and rarely worth the effort. And so this new approach that we have, I think, is really sort of getting everyone excited about this possibility.
Okay, so what is Totogi doing that can help make this easier for enterprises?
So believe it or not, Totogi is perfect for this situation for two reasons. So we're a multi-tenant platform, and that's super key to this. And number two, we're built on the public cloud. And so, like I have said before, we don't install one customer at a time, not even in the public cloud, right? It's a charging platform that's always running. It takes seconds to deploy a new charger for a new enterprise customer. So because Totogi is a multi-tenant charging platform, it's super easy for us to spin up and spin down new instances for each enterprise to use. We can give each enterprise the ability to design their own plans without needing technical assistance from anyone, not from the telco, and certainly not from Totogi. The second reason, because we're running in the public cloud, all resources are dynamically allocated. There's no hardware to buy, to set up. There's no capacity to plan. It scales up and down on demand. And so traditional vendors deploy the stack customer by customer, like Siebel used to do for CRM. And Totogi has one platform supporting all the tenants, more like Salesforce. So hopefully people can understand that difference of how easy it is to set up a new Salesforce instance versus installing, Siebel CRM. It's the same thing with the Totogi charging system. And so that's the new technology that's coming online. Totogi is a SaaS vendor. And so it's really lighting up people's imaginations about what they can do with enterprise customers.
So, I mean, if I'm an enterprise with a private network, I mean, how does this work exactly for me?
Yeah, so I brought some slides. And so let's go back to that Freeport example. So let's pretend in your Freeport, you have 3 traders coming in, Shell, Maersk, and BP, right? Big ships. You'd be able to offer each of these customers the ability to create their own plans with Totogi's plan design. Completely distinct instances. They're not interfering and they're not using your charger that's part of your core network, right? This is a completely different charger, completely different plans, and each of them are separated from each other. And you'd be able to do that instantly. Totogi Charging as a Service is a multi-tenant platform. And so each enterprise would be provisioned as a separate tenant with independent technical catalogs, right? This also has been a very difficult thing to do. Right? Charging routing is required to ensure each subscriber, independent of the home network, is routed to the correct enterprise charging tenant. And because all of these components run on AWS, they're deployed as an automated package. So you can easily stand up a new trader coming in that port. You can offer them the pricing that you want, distinct from your other guys. They can plan their own plans. They have their own catalog, and then they can charge their suppliers or different people coming into that Freeport to finish the goods as necessary. So, I think the quote in the booth from a US tier 1 was, "I come to MWC all the time. I'm not easily impressed." This is absolutely impressive. And so we think we have like a little hit here, and we're really excited to share it with the world.
Well, I mean, I think people are always interested to find out about new business models that can spin off platforms that are already being sort of made available and being used for other things. So certainly an interesting example of that. So Danielle, great to chat with you again, and look forward to speaking with you again in the future about what Telco DR and Totogi are doing. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Ray.